So today we have a Stihl FS55. The problem is it will run, but you have to press the primer bulb like 30 times. The cap is on tight. It's a new cap, so it's not like there's lack of pressure in there. Fuel line is new, from what I believe. We're going to check that, but I have a feeling that what the problem is this part of the carburetor. So let's take it off. It's an 8mm to take the two little bolts off. Or 5/16. It's not really easy to get them in there, but it will fit. There we are. Yeah, this is a new line. I remember now. I believe it's this part. So what we are going to do, because I do believe the tank is pressurized, I'm going to loosen the tank. Yeah, heard it. So that's good. And then, well, we could probably do it with one. I'm going to take this off. And I don't think well, we do need to take that fuel line off though. I don't believe there's anything wrong internally. I guess it could be wrong. Every time I rode across this is the reason why. These fuel lines are not the easiest to get off. They're higher quality, but they're not the easiest to get off. So we're going to take this top piece off. I believe that there's a plug somewhere, some type of restriction, something causing it to not create a good seal. Because everything else seems to be fine. Okay, let's go put you by the carburetor station and we'll take a look at this. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Let's take off this cover, or this plate I should say. There should be these little like plugs in there, which there is, that's good. Let's blow it out, but when you blow it out you want to put your finger over both of these, kind of like that. Well, it definitely sounded a little plugged. This might be needing to be replaced. So what that is, that's like a little check. And if that is not working, we just have to replace this whole piece, because unlike other ones that just have like the little push checks, this one does not. So if we put it back on, and we discover that it's still doing the same thing, we're going to probably know that's the reason why. There's no orientation on this, just put it on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put it on and we'll see if we're successful. Okay, so, didn't work. What we're going to do is, this is another Stihl carburetor. It's just a little bit different. It's off a older version of this, but same principle, or same piece on top. It has to arc down. As long as the diaphragm is the same on it, we should be good to go. I mean, I'm still going to use the old diaphragm I have in there, but the style and the primer bulb is in good condition anyway, so not too concerned over that one at all. Oh yeah, this is nice. Even this is pretty clean. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this around and put it on the other one. Okay. So, I'm going to take it off. Let it do fuel line again. If it doesn't work, this one's the same. It's just not the greatest of conditions. That carb is pretty universal, I want to say. It's used on a lot of things for Stihl. This head is used on a lot of things. Hedge trimmers. This is a weed eater. A multi-tool. Maybe even a pole saw. Attachment goes on there. So this is a pretty universal head unit. So these carbs are not too hard to come across. So I like to keep a healthy stash of supplies for it. And some of these supplies are pieces of the old ones. Some people, when you fix these for them, you want to say there's a few types of people. One just wants it to run. They don't really care how. As long as it runs good, and they don't have any problems, which could be putting in a used part, like this. Or then the other type is, nope, they need to have an invoice, a receipt. They need to know exactly the brand, the model, where you got it, how much it was paid for, which should be on the invoice. I don't deal with those people. I have, don't want to again. Because, believe it or not, this is a hobby, not my job. This is something I do to escape. Okay. Now it's coming through. I think I'm going to put a little bit more fuel in there too. Oh, I need more material. No. This having the exact same problem. So there's something inside the carb that's not working anymore. So what we're going to have to do is... why don't we do this? This one, I think, is already cleaned. Or is it? Let me clean this one up and I'll just put that one on real quick. Okay, so put the new carb on. I took the diaphragm out of that one because it was a lot better condition. Is there a gasket on this one? I forget. No, there is not. So we have to pull off the fuel lines anyway. But it does work even without the gas cap being fully seated. So usually it doesn't happen. And put this back on. So I have no issue with Stihls. I think they're a great product. They have a good couple ideas. But for some reason, working on Stihls, some of them, it's just not easy. I don't know. I've gone over that before, but it's just some of the stuff like this. There's a little positioning pin. It's like, I understand why they need it there, but it's like, none of the other ones do that, and it works just fine. And understandably, that's the like a bracket for the tensioner for the throttle. So they want to make sure that over time your throttle cable loosens, or there we are. That's better. Anyway, when it loosens, you can tighten it back up. So I get the point. It's just one more step that's just kind of aggravating. But I guess that's the reason why you buy them. Not because they're easy to work on, but because you don't really need to work on them very often to begin with. So that's a bonus. But when you do, oof. This one, however, though, is really nice. Don't make me take my words back. Stihl. Okay, anyway, where are we? Oh yes. Why are Stihls hard to work on? I do these. Why is it so hard just to make it so you could put a normal socket in there without kind of squishing it in? It's either 8mm or 5/16. Okay. Go. That should be choke on. Let's give it. Count that as a win. Okay, well, there you have it. If your primer bulb is not keeping any fluid in the carburetor, Let's see if I can show you. I believe, let's see, well, it's going to be hard to show, but inside there's like another little check valve, and I think that's the one that's failing besides the top one. So ethanol fuel does that, more or less. It's moral of the story, don't use ethanol fuel, but other than that, this works out pretty good. I think I'm going to just want to run outside a little bit longer, fine tune it, and let the owner know it's ready to go. Okay, well, any questions, concerns, comments, likes, definitely leave them below, and I will see everyone later, and definitely subscribe. Bye.